In a world where the truth is hard to come by, there's that one guy, just a guy with a thought. World Premiere. World Premiere. Peoples of the worldwide federated internets, what is good? At what point is it okay to grow up? At what point is it okay to mature past what you were doing when you were 20 and when you were 19? There's a growing sentiment that 30 is the new 20, 40 is the new 30, 50 is the new 40. I'm so sick of hearing that. I know your favorite rapper has told you that, and so you believe it because they said it, but I'm just sick of it. It's not true. And it also sells false doctrine to people. It sells a false belief to people. It sells this false doctrine and this false belief that there's something wrong with aging. When you see people who are in their late 30s, early 40s, 50s, acting like they're 20 years old, doing things that 20-year-olds do, acting immature as if this makes them, some kind of higher conscious being, it's hilarious to me. You know what I see when I see a person who should be a little more mature acting like they're a teenager? I think this is a foolish person. I'm not telling you what you can or what you're supposed to like or not like when you're older. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about people acting like they have no common sense. There's this idea, and I see a lot of people talking about this. I see a lot of older people in my age demographic. I'll say from around age 38 to around age 47. I'm 40. People in this age demographic with this idea that, I'm just trying to live and be free and just go with the flow. That's something you do when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. As you start passing that 25 threshold, that's when you start getting laser focused. That's when you start realizing life is short. You don't have a bunch of time. So you have to be very laser focused and very intentional upon the direction you choose for life, because you don't have all the time in the world. I find it very odd and very confusing when I see people in my age group that don't have some kind of focus, some kind of direction. That doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out. But this idea that we're just, I'm just going with the flow, wherever life takes me. When I hear that, yeah, I'm good. You go your own way. I need somebody that's at least focused on something. Like I said, I'm not saying you have to know it all. You have to know exactly what you're going to be doing at every exact moment, but you have to have some kind of focus. Look, we're not teenagers anymore. I'm not 20 years old. I'm not in my early 20s. I'm not 25 years old. I'm not even 30. I am 40 years old. When I do things and I make decisions at this age, I am very, very intentional and very focused when I'm doing something. I'm doing something and it definitely has a purpose. I don't have time to waste. My grandfather was, I believe, 96 when he was laid to rest. And I hope God allows me to live to a good old age. But if he was 96, that means I got at the most 50 something years if God allows me to live to the same age he lived to. What if I just stick with the average age? I think the average lifespan is something like between 68 and 75 or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I can be wrong, but I believe it's somewhere in that ballpark. That's not a lot of time. This idea at this age, at this stage in life, that, I'm just, free, I'm just going to do whatever, and I'm just going to... That's not it. Now, I'm not saying you have to be so rigid that you're walking around like you got a stick up your butt. That's not what I'm saying. But you got to be focused. You got to have some kind of intentional purpose behind the things that you do. It can't be willy-nilly, just whatever is whatever. This is how people get trapped up in life and end up in spots that they wish they weren't in. My thoughts for the day. Something I noticed. Stay frosty, people.